Alrighty, we're recording question 8 on the practice exam here. For Unit 3 exam, it says, given the function f of x equals the square root of x and g of x equals x squared minus 4, what is the domain of f of g of x? So we first need to find f of g of x. We're going to put g inside of f. So I first write f of x down. F of x is the square root of x, right? And then I leave it as a blank, right? And what goes in the blank, it is the inside function. The inside function is g. And what is g? It is x squared minus 4. This is going to go here. So I have a couple of options with this. I can do it algebraically or I can do it graphically. I think the easiest thing is going to be for us to do it graphically here. So this is based, so we're going to graph this composite. And if you remember the steps for graphing a composite, step 1 is we first graph the inside. The inside is what? X squared minus 4. What is this? This is a what?
Quadratic.
It's quadratic. It's down 4. And I'm going to do this lightly because I'm doing it in pen. Remember, you're supposed to use pencil. And it looks like this. And now we're going to do step 2. And step 2 is we're going to apply the outside function. And my outside function is my square root. And what does a square root do to a function? It gets rid of the negatives. And then the arms change. How do they change? The arms kind of punch out like this here. Okay? So this is my graph and there are no negative values here. And then we want to find exactly where it hits here, right? So we're going to do step 3. And if we remember, step 3 was set the what? Inside equal to 0. So let's set the inside equal to 0. When I do so, what do I get? X squared minus 4 equals 0. And you clearly just add 4. So you get x squared equals 4. We're going to take the square root of both sides. And I get x equals, the square and the square root cancel. So I get x equals plus or minus 2. And so clearly here, you see, these are the values where my graph is hitting the x-axis. So on my picture here, this value should be -2. Running out of ink in my pen. And this value here should be 2. So now all we have to do is find the domain, and we're going to do so by looking at the graph. And it goes from left to right. So the first thing I hit is -infinity, and then I go to where? -2, and it touches, it's a solid dot, which means it's a what? It's a bracket. A space means I'm going to need a union, okay? And then I start again at 2, and then I go to infinity, okay? And this is how you would find it. So clearly here, the answer choice must be A, right? A is the correct answer.